What's up, warriors? How you guys doing? Today we're going to talk about macros, the macro breakdown. I did a live Q&A on my IG, and they brought it up. Obviously, I had one of my old team members that was on the team. It was over a year already, but he was following some macros that I had gave him. Obviously, they were not working for him no more. And I told him, give me the breakdown, which he didn't even know how to give me the breakdown after I gave him the breakdown. So when I say the breakdown, when I'm talking about, what a breakdown is, I need to know how much protein, carbs, and fat you're eating. You cannot just come and tell me I'm eating X amount of calories or the percentages. We don't go by calories or percentages. We go by the macro numbers that I gave you. So if you've been on my team or if you are on my team, you guys know that that's the only numbers that I care about for you to hit the macro numbers that I gave you, the protein, carbs, and fat. Whether I gave you 200 grams of protein to eat, 180 grams of carbs to eat, and or 50 grams of fat to eat. That's a breakdown. And then from there, you break it down into 5 meals. So I need 5 meals, and obviously I do the math for a lot of my team members. Before, I'll just send you the macro numbers and I'll tell you, hey, split them into 5 meals and done, run it. I'll send you a list of foods. I provide all the information. And a lot of people are struggling, dividing 5 meals. It's simple as adding, subtracting, and division. So I started doing the division for them where I split the meals across the board evenly. Obviously, I tell them, you guys do not have to eat them exactly how I did it, but that's just a sample of what a breakdown is. Whether it's 35 grams of protein from chicken, whether it's a cup of rice, which is 40 grams of carbs, and if you want to throw some avocado for healthy fats, which is a quarter of an avocado is 9 grams of fat. So there it is. That's a breakdown for the first meal. Second meal could be a protein shake, 35 grams, 40 grams of protein, have a piece of bread, which a loaf of bread, a slice is 15 grams of carbs. You could have 2 of them. That right there is 30 grams of carbs. You put some peanut butter on there. 1 serving is 8 grams of fat. That right there, 2 meals. 40 grams of protein, 30 grams of carbs, and 8 grams of fat from peanut butter, healthy fats. That's a breakdown. When I ask for a breakdown, or when, I talk to anyone at the gym that supposedly is following the macro plan, I'm like, okay, what are you eating? Chicken and rice. Okay, cool. What's the breakdown? Oh, breakdown. I don't know. I just eat it. Well, that's the problem. You need a breakdown. You need a structured plan that's actually going to have more detail into what are you eating, what's on the plate of food that you're eating. It's not just chicken, rice, and broccoli, tilapia, rice, or broccoli, salmon, rice, or broccoli. You cannot just tell someone, that's what I eat. I need to know the numbers, the breakdown, which is how much of it, how much protein, how much carbs, how much fat. That's the breakdown. So people that don't understand, what a breakdown is, I just gave you 2 samples of a breakdown for 2 meals. And it's as simple as that. But you have to know your numbers. That's where everybody screws up. And then I still have my team members, some of them that question it still. They're questioning their macros. See, I know macros like the back of my hand. So a lot of times it kind of like triggers me that you're questioning what I gave you. But then I understand, I sit back and I'm like, you know what? I was there before. They probably need an explanation. They probably need me to break it down. So I'll give them that time of day. And I'll tell them where I get a question where like, well, why am I getting X amount of carbs? Why am I getting 200 grams of carb? What's the purpose of all that carb? And I understand my fats, you have them at 50, but why is the carb so high? I'm like, simple. Fats and carbs are 2 sources of energy that the body needs. Obviously, I'm not going to give you fat because that's what we're trying to get rid of, the fat that you have. So I'm going to give you the perfect amount to have your hormone production, lubrications of the joints, and for you to stay healthy, because you cannot live without fats. The body needs fat. That's why I'm going to monitor the fat that I give you, the intake that I give you. I'm going to give you a specific number to hit, and then from there, we'll adjust if needed. So I'm not going to start you off at a high fat and high carbs when the body does not need two sources of energy coming in at one time. And that's why we consume too much calories in one sit down with fat and carbs, which it stores as fat because the body's not going to break down all that food. So the reason why I give you, I'll choose carbs over fats, because we're going to try to build muscle. We're going to try to keep the muscle that we have, if not even build a little bit more as we're cutting. See, carbs is stored as muscular glycogen. It's a building block, so you could build muscle, so you could gain that size. But obviously we're cutting, but you still want to feed the muscle. You still need that energy. You still need that pump at the gym. That's fuel that the body needs, so you could perform better. Obviously, a lot of times we got to make minor adjustments where I start taking away some carbs. People start feeling more hungry. They start feeling less energetic, but that comes later on. The body will adapt. The body will adapt eventually to the calories that you're eating. So it's a struggle. It's uncomfortable, for a short time, but you got to run it up. You got to run that shit like a champ. Like I tell all my clients, you got to suck it up and run it up like a champ, straight up. That's it. You're not going to pass out. You're not going to die from it. It's just a little discomfort, which people right away, they say they equate it as hunger. We don't know what hunger is. So let's get that straight. So people are asking me why I always choose high carbs over fats. It's for that reason. Very few individuals I would do the opposite, but then there's health issues involved there. Whether they're diabetics, pre-diabetics, type 1, type 2, then there's, now that's a whole nother kind of worms. That's a whole nother video for that. But when it comes to people that are coming in, that's been working out, that they fell off, that, they want to lose weight, they want a certain look, they want to look like they go to the gym, then I would go that route. I'm going to give you carbs because carbs is used as fuel to build muscle. It's a building block that helps shuttle all the protein where it needs to go. When you intake a protein shake or consume protein with carbs, that's what it does. It shuttles all the protein where it needs to go, all the nutrients. That's what it is. It's a building block, so we need it. I would need more of that than fats. So the fats, we're going to keep it in check. The carbs are always going to be at a certain level, and then the protein always at lean body mass. What I pretty much do for my clients. We got amazing results. Like I said, I've done it for so many people, different body types, different circumstances, different, people that, they already play sports. Some don't play sports. Some are athletes. Some are boxers. Some are MMA fighters. Everybody works different. You have to know how to adjust because they might need that fuel. I got firefighters that they need high carb intakes. So I have to up their carbs when they're out there in the field, when they're training, when they're working out in the field. And, getting involved with these fires out there, they're going to need more fuel. They already know that. That's a fact. A lot of people that, are into the health and fitness, they know that you need that as fuel. So you could be able to perform better. But other than that, that's the breakdown. That's when I talk about the breakdown. When I was telling this guy, well, give me the breakdown, and he was confused he didn't even know what it was. So he didn't pay attention. He couldn't even tell me exactly what he was eating. So I'm like, how am I supposed to help you then? If you don't even know how much you're eating, we got to be more specific. We got to be more knowledgeable. We have to come with more details so we could actually expedite the problem on what you're struggling with, whether it's low energy, whether you're not losing weight no more. There's a lot of ways to find out once you know your numbers, because we're able to expedite the problem quicker. Remember, that's the breakdown. Run it.